Thanks so much for joining us on 13 News at noon. I'm Karen Campbell. Right now, police are investigating after finding a man shot at a gas station on Indy's east side. IMPD says officers responded to the Amico on East 21st and Midhofer just before 8 this morning. Now, that is where they found the man awake but suffering from gunshot wounds in his arm. He was taken to a hospital, and police say they do not believe the man was shot at this location, but they are working with him to find out what happened.
We say it time and time again, we really encourage our citizens, our residents, to try to settle things peacefully. Walk away, talk it out before you resort to a weapon. That is a bad recipe. Anytime you introduce a weapon to an argument, it's a recipe for disaster.
And anyone with information is asked to call police. Tips can be reported anonymously to Crime Stoppers. That number on your screen, 317-262-TIPS. Right now, police in Muncie are investigating the death of a 15-year-old boy found dead at an apartment complex. This all happened around 10 last night on North Elgin Street near East McGalliard Road. Officers say the teen had been shot and was taken to Riley Hospital here in Indianapolis in critical condition. Unfortunately, that teen did not survive. This is an ongoing investigation, and our Rich Nye will have more on 13 News beginning at 5 o'clock. Well, just hours ago, we learned the name of a 54-year-old man hit and killed on the city's west side. Police tell us it happened just before 10 last night on West Washington Street near Girls School Road. Now, this is a look here at the scene where investigators found Trampist Ritchie dead. Police say the driver involved stayed at the scene. 13 News is working to learn if any charges will be filed against that driver. Well, right now we are awaiting to hear from IMPD about a SWAT situation last night on the northwest side. We know at least one person is in the hospital after a shooting just before that standoff. Police say they got a call of a person shot just before 8 p.m. on Eugene Street near West 29th and MLK. A short time later, police were tipped off to a potential suspect held up inside of a house in the area. This afternoon, still no word on if police made an arrest or if they have anyone in custody. Of course, we will pass along any new information once we learn more. All right, let's give you a live look right now outside. You're taking a look at downtown Indianapolis. And if you've been outside, Matt, I just kind of stepped outdoors and it was, sprinkling just a little, some scattered showers in the forecast today.
Sure, and we got another round of showers on the way. Going to be a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
We haven't had too much throughout the day so far, just those sprinkles like you mentioned.
Yeah.
But it's about to pick up just a little bit temporarily. So let's go ahead and we'll get to the radar, show you kind of what we're expecting for this afternoon. There's a storm system, Karen, sitting off towards our west. The warm front right now is sparking these scattered showers and even a little embedded downpour here and there, crossing the state line as we speak. Later tonight and into early tomorrow morning, the cold front could spark a couple more storms. You're starting to see a couple little flare-ups just trying. They're struggling right now, but that's our next round. So we've got this round through the afternoon and evening, just some spotty rain showers. This band is slowly weakening over time, but then later tonight we'll get a couple more stronger storms possibly, maybe even with a little bit of wind. But let's talk about the showers we have right now. We've had a couple of those sprinkles, especially north of Indianapolis. Those are now passing past Richmond and Muncie and Winchester right now. Here's the next wave of some showers. They're moving about 25 to 30 miles per hour. So when you time things out, we're talking about coming into Indy here just about 1:30. So over the next hour and a half, it'll come into Indy, and that's going to include Westfield and Noblesville and Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood. If you want to go eastbound, Newcastle, Richmond, Connersville, and Rushville, we may be waiting more towards 2:30 or 3, but some scattered showers on the way. We're going to be timing out the rest of these and also timing out, Karen, the storm chances for later tonight.
Thank you, Matt. Well, 3 men are waiting to be sentenced for murder committed a little over 2 years ago. A jury just convicted the 3 men of murder and robbery of Kerwin Pollard. Prosecutors say he and his fiancée were traveling around the state selling clothing. He met up with 3 men to make a sale. That is when they pulled out a gun, shot him, stole his car, and then took off. The men are expected to be sentenced next month. A new bridge in East Central Indiana is now dedicated to fallen Richmond police officer Sierra Burton. Burton's family, fellow officers, and the Richmond community came together yesterday for the dedication. This afternoon, preparations are underway to put signs up marking the Officer Sierra Burton Memorial Bridge that runs over I-70. Richmond Police Department Chief Kyle Weatherly talked about Burton's dedication to the force and her service to the community.
This bridge will stand as a gentle reminder to all who pass of the hero who gave her life for our community.
Earlier this year, the man suspected of murdering Officer Burton died behind bars. Investigators say no foul play was suspected. Well, here's a heads up for drivers taking I-70 in Hancock County. Traffic cameras have officially arrived. Now, those cameras will monitor driver speeds through a construction zone. So if you go 11 miles over the limit, the camera takes a picture of your rear plate. For now, authorities will only issue warnings. Eventually, drivers will see tickets of at least $75 for repeat offenses delivered to their mailboxes. The goal is to increase safety in construction zones. Now, revenue goes into the state's general fund, not NDOT. 13 News is learning that an Indianapolis Public Works Committee will hold a budget hearing. This comes after Mayor Joe Hogsett announced plans for a large chunk of his city budget for 2025 this week. Hogsett says that chunk will go to the Department of Public Works. Mayor Hogsett wants to invest $1 billion into Indy DPW over the next 5 years. That includes improving pedestrian safety as part of the Vision Zero plan. And almost $200 million will be used on new stormwater systems to avoid flooding. The committee hearing starts tonight at 5:30. And it is official. Next year's WNBA All-Star Game is coming to the Circle City. This marks the first time our city has hosted the event. Now, we just hosted the NBA All-Star Game back in February. The WNBA is expected to make the announcement official later this week. The buzz around the league and Indy got a lot louder earlier this week